Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you being here. I want to start out with just some introductions so you'll know from whom you'll be hearing. My name is Susan Nyland. I'm one of the public information officers with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We also have District Attorney General Bryant Dunaway with the 13th Judicial District and Clay County Sheriff Brandon Boone. You'll be hearing from those folks, and also here in support who were involved, they and their agencies were involved in these efforts, are Lieutenant Jimmy Neal with THP, Captain R.C. Christian with THP, and Natalie Boone, the Clay County EMA Director. So we have information that we are still gathering today. So the information that we have is still part of a very active and ongoing investigation. The information that we're able to gather at this point is the information that we believe that we are able to confirm at this stage. This incident began this morning when a bus driver went to pick up two girls who live on North Fork Road. This bus driver apparently lives in a property nearby and tends to pick these girls up every morning. Instead of the two juveniles he expected to see getting on the bus, there was an uninjured juvenile female and an adult female who had suffered from a gunshot wound. They boarded the bus and he was able to take them to this location where we are right now, the Mount Vernon Fire Department. From there, they were able to call 911 and deputies responded to the scene. Deputies found an adult male who had suffered from gunshot wounds outside of the home, and inside there was a juvenile female who was deceased. The two adults had been transported by helicopter to a Nashville hospital where they continue to be treated at this time. The individual believed to be responsible for this is a white male. His name is not being released at this point pending confirmation of his identity. But he was believed to have been staying on the property of this home doing some work for the male resident. After this occurred, he ran into the woods. Multiple agencies, you'll be hearing from the sheriff about some of the agencies that were involved, engaged in a search for this subject. And just before 11 o'clock Central Time today, he was captured and taken into custody. Again, this remains an active and ongoing investigation. Because of the circumstances behind that, we are not releasing the identities of any of the individuals, the victims, or how they know each other until we are able to confirm with some of their relatives. Next up, I have District Attorney General Dunaway, who can provide more information to you.
Hey, good morning. I'm Bryant Dunaway, District Attorney for the 13th Judicial District. So, as was just stated this morning, we were called to what has become a homicide investigation. The suspect that we believe is the perpetrator is in custody now, and we'll begin the process of processing the scene. Multiple agencies are involved, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and the sheriff will explain others that helped in the fugitive recovery this morning. My office and the staff will be consulting with the investigators to decide the appropriate charges to bring at this time. It's certainly a criminal homicide investigation, but options there would be first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and any lesser included of that. So as the investigation develops, that'll be more clear as to what is appropriate. At this time, that's kind of where we are. Sheriff?
Hello, my name is Sheriff Brandon Boone. I'd like to start off saying this is a small community, and this is something unusual that's happened in our community. And first of all, I'd like to start off by thanking the people that assisted us. But first of all, I want to say that I would ask the community and the people for their thoughts and prayers for the family and the first responders that responded to this. But rapidly after this happened this morning, Tennessee Highway Patrol assisted us with setting up a perimeter along with Macon, Jackson, Putman County Sheriff's Offices, Salina Police Department, TWRA, also the Clay EMS and EMA assisted within this incident, and Macon County EMS also assisted and helped transport a patient. Overton County EMS covered the other side of our county while all units were tied up on this incident here. And Monroe County, the Sheriff's Office in Kentucky also helped set up a perimeter on the outer perimeter. So that's all I've got at this point.
Thank you, Sheriff. Again, since this remains an active and ongoing situation, we're very limited as to what we can address at this point, but if you have some questions, we'll try to answer them as long as we're able to.
My first question is, just describe that area in that where this happened. Obviously, you said this is a close-knit community. We did get some description of the area that, if you could just explain what that area is like, if you don't mind coming up to the.
Yes. It is a very remote, rural area in our county. It's probably 5 or 6 miles from this point here, but it's in a wooded area, surrounded by quite a few woods.
Can you talk a little bit more about capturing this guy? Was there a struggle? How many people were involved? Where was he? Did he have a weapon on him?
Some of the aspects of his capture we're not able to speak to at this point, but there were canine officers from Putnam County Sheriff's Office who were involved in that. There were agencies from multiple, agents and officers from multiple agencies, but I believe it was the Putnam County Canine Unit that ultimately captured him.
What about this area? You said it's rural. Can you talk about the economic status? Are most people, what would you talk about just how people live out there? What is their job usually? What is their, what do they usually do? Or, what can you describe the people and how they, like I said, their daily lives out there, jobs and things like that?
Well, our county doesn't have a lot of industry here, so a lot of people travel outside the county for jobs. But we have sawmill industry, lumber, so a lot of people's doing that. But it is we're a distressed county, but it is a rural, remote area, and if it weren't for some of the other agencies assisting my small agency, this wouldn't have been possible today.
How rare is it for something like this to happen in y'all's small county?
Pretty rare. This is my third term, and we've only had 2 or 3 incidents similar to this.
About how many people are in the population? And since you're such a tight-knit community, is this such a
The county has a population of about 7,800 people.
Just to confirm, that was a older woman that was injured that got on the school bus, but the child that got on the bus was uninjured. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And the older woman was 22.
When we say older woman, it's an adult female. We're not given any of the descriptors, we're not giving any specifics just because, again, we are trying to work on notification for family, and we just don't want to provide too much information at this point until they've been properly notified.
So do you have an actual address?
It was on North Fork Road,
274 North.
274 North Fork Road.
And how are the 2 adults doing that are in the hospital?
They're still being treated, so I can't talk about specifics.
Sure.
I'm sorry? Yes, sir.
Taking off your sheriff hat, put on your dad hat. What's your mind when this kind of thing happens?
It's a tragic response for any officer, but it is an emotional time to see something of that nature.
Do you know these people?
I do. Yes,
Have you talked to any of their family? How are they doing this time?
I have. I don't really want to get into detail about that, please.
As far as when you say you're a distressed county, what does that mean?
Economically.
Can you
As-
talk about this bus driver and talk about
Yes.
your thoughts on the role they played?
I'd like to sit here and thank that bus driver for the actions he took during this incident, for getting the one child safe away from the incident and bringing the injured here. I would like to commend him for doing what he done.
Does he work for the county?
He does work for the county school system.
What exactly did he do? Can you elaborate a little bit more on what his role?
He picked the child up that was uninjured, along with the one injured adult, and transported them away from the scene. He did not go back. He waited at this place for an EMS unit to arrive and officers to arrive.
Did he do CPR or anything like that?
I could not. I can't confirm that.
Was there any other students on the bus at that time?
I can't confirm that either. I'm not for sure.
Any chance the girl who passed away, her age, by any chance?
Yeah, again, because as the sheriff had mentioned, this is a very small community, and we really want to make sure the folks that need to be notified are done, that it's done in a manner that is befitting the victim. So we want to make sure that that they're notified that way before we give any specifics along that line. Now, as far as any kind of updates, as we are able to provide updates as to the identities of the individuals including the subject. We will be sure and put it on Twitter. I'm not sure if the other agencies are going to be providing it on their outlets as well, but we will have it on our social media. I think that we've given you the extent of what we're able to release at this point. We appreciate you being out here and gathering this information, and fortunately the subject is in custody thanks to many individuals and agencies who are involved. As we have more specifics we can provide on either of these fronts, then we'll be sure and let you know.
Are you calling this a domestic?
We are not.
You're not calling it domestic robbery?
It's still, we're not calling it anything at this point just because it's still active and ongoing, and we continue to speak to witnesses and gather evidence that's available.
Susan, was the suspect related to any of the victims?
That's not something that we're discussing at this point. We're still trying to confirm identities, and we'll have that information available as we're able to get confirmation. Chris?
Someone just into the THG helicopter. I mean, it seemed to be instrumental. I mean, he looked like he was landing down in the woods.
So, you know, when we had a shooting incident, the public safety is of utmost importance to everybody. So, it was understood that the perpetrator of the shooting was not in custody initially, and so the Highway Patrol helicopter assisted the Clay County Sheriff's Department and all the other agencies involved in locating the shooter, and that ultimately happened. He was apprehended, as was previously stated, by the Putnam County K-9 unit.
I guess I was asking how big of a role how much did that help you guys?
Well, it's always a great help for the Highway Patrol helicopter to work in areas. Having aerial surveillance and eyes in the sky to be able to locate subjects that we're trying to find is always a great help, and we appreciate that agency's help very much.
I don't expect to. No, I think any information that we're going to be able to provide will be something that we'll be putting out either via email or social media avenues. That were transported? No, I'm afraid we can't discuss that at this point. They remain in the hospital. I'm sorry? That's not something I can confirm at this point. Thank everybody for being here.